So many products that we use on daily basis. Nail polish and perfumes, to sneakers, and even the foam of the mattress where we sleep, were at some point created by a chemist. Chemists who combine their knowledge and understanding of how molecules and material behave with creativity to solve a problem and bring them together and create the products that we use. Chemists like my guest today, Artressa Christophe, who has helped create the everyday items I just mentioned and so many more. Today we will talk with Artressa. Here inside Wanhua, Artressa is a seasoned chemist, analytical chemist, but at home, she loves to spend time with her family, a problem solver, and a very creative person, who I think that's why she's the perfect person to explore today's topic, chemistry and creativity. Hi, I'm Andreina, and welcome to Inside Wanhua. Thank you for joining me as we go beyond the lab to meet the people who make chemistry come alive at our growing global company. Because real innovation happens when culture and chemistry connect. Hi, Artressa. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today and spending time with me. I'm very excited. You are my first guest at Inside Wanhua. I'm very excited because when we were first brainstorming about this idea and this project, we wanted to have a purpose. And when we were kind of building what it was going to be, head, arms, and legs, we wanted to go beyond the lab and highlight the people that make Wanhua special and that make chemistry happen and come to life. So you're the perfect person for this because just like yourself, I do have a background in chemistry as well. And for personal reasons, career reasons, life led me to now I'm doing marketing and sharing the part outside my work life that I like performing arts and I enjoy theater. It was really cool to connect those two things, those moments where you connect chemistry and creativity. And that's the topic for today. And I couldn't think of a better person than you because I've gotten the honor and pleasure to meet you outside of work. And I can see that you're also a very creative person. So today, I'm really excited to dive into the topic of chemistry and creativity with you and explore how those two words collide. Mm-hmm. We've been working together for almost 2 years now. The role of marketing and chemistry, they're interconnected, right? Like I'm always trying to hear what is it that you guys are doing, like when we're at lunch or just on the hall, trying to see what are the chemists doing in the lab that I can turn into a piece of content or how we should record this and vice versa, like bringing ideas that I hear or that I read, pain points that the outside world, the market is having that I can bring to you and to Lynn and then let you guys, work in the lab and do your magic and see how we can apply that to solve problems in the real world. So, let's start with our interview. I want to learn, tell us a little bit more about your role here about Wanhua. What are your responsibilities? And when did the passion for chemistry started for you?
Okay, well, thanks for having me. And first, I'm honored. So let's do this. So here at Wanhua, I'm a technical service specialist, and that's a fancy way of saying analytical chemist. My responsibilities, I try to get my hands into everything, but the main responsibilities are everything with the lab. So I make sure that the lab flows smoothly, the different labs. So we have analytical testing, and then we have our different applications that we support. So my job is to run some routine testing and some non-routine testing, and I'm just constantly trying to improve the lab.
When did you know that you wanted to be a chemist?
Okay, I knew I wanted to be a chemist in undergraduate. So I went into undergraduate looking to study biology, just trying to make sure I stay in STEM. And as I started taking chemistry classes, I was like, okay, this is perfect for me, the way that we're able to create different things. And I kind of just went with it after that. And I'm more interested now than ever. That even brought me to go to graduate school, I got a master's in chemistry. So it kind of always been there. Now that I reflect back on the kind of stuff that I was interested in doing in high school and even as a kid, I would always make different things. But in undergraduate, I really found out how to make those things the right way. And today I'm still making things. So it
That
was
is
a perfect
true. I
match.
will attest to that because sometimes we'll be at my office and you always and I you've said that you're like, I'm pretty sure that I can make anything that we use. I could figure out a way to work it backwards and make it. And you have done that. Like we were talking about, perfumes that I was shopping to prefer a gift. And you said, make your own. And I'm like, that sounds so simple. And you're like, the next day you were here with like alcohol and oils, and that truly shows the passion that you do have for chemistry and applying
Mhm,
to outside of work. Make
mhm.
your own wax, and I love that about you. Like so quick to come up with a solution. Now,
Yeah,
you
chemistry
work.
is the solution to everything.
Say
So
that again.
I say chemistry is the solution to everything.
It's true. Everything we can see has matter, and anything that has matter has, a chemist behind it. So who thought about it? So that's awesome. So you worked on you got your bachelor's and then your master. Being at work led you to the master because you wanted to expand that knowledge. So you work in a wide range of projects in different industry before coming to Wanhua and here in Wanhua. So
Mhm.
what are some of the highlights? What are some of the projects and applications that you can think of that have sparked that interest in you like that you'll be like, oh, this is where I belong.
So I have worked in quite a few different applications. I love them all the same. Just seeing like building a customer relationship and just seeing that idea make it to market over time and all the things that go into that. That's always fun. Some of my highlights in my career so far, I've been a part of 3 plant startups. So that was a lot of work, but just to see the finished product out on the shelves, right? And all the customers that it bring in makes me happy. Here at Wanwa, something that has been my highlight so far is our stone carpet project.
Hmm.
To see Lynn come up with that idea and been working closely with him to formulate that, define the methods, and to see it really working and the interest from different potential customers has been really exciting.
That's that combination of science and process. You guys are going to prove a concept through this setup, and then marketing is like paying attention to what you guys are doing so that I can turn that into something that we can share, and hopefully a solution and an idea for other customers. I love that about you. You're problem solver, but you're also looking for, you're driven by results and the final product. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have as a chemist, and also, in business, you want to get
Yeah.
results. So how does this diverse experience in working in many projects in your background has shaped the approach to innovation here at Wanhua? How do you think that has helped?
So Wawa has allowed me to kind of zone in on some of the things that I like the most about some of my past roles. And that's like I say, they connect me with our colleagues that we have, in Mexico and Canada to help me optimize what we have here or create new stuff here. And what I could bring to them is that some of the other applications and some of the other instrumentation are some of the same instrumentation that I've used. I've been able to bring here and set up and solve some problems quicker than what we had in place and share that with some of our other sites that we have around the world.
Most of our R&D gets done in China.
Hmm.
So I think that that's important to highlight here, that that's part of what Wanhua and the chemists do, right? Like we want our customers to succeed, right? Like we are in the raw material business, and that's part of what you and Linda do is you
Hmm.
go out and work in their labs and help them set up their testing. It's not always that you're playing here in a
Hmm.
concept base, right? It's you're taking that to the next level and you're helping our customers succeed.
Yeah. So that's something that I really appreciate about Wanwa. They allow the creative person in me to be innovative. And with that, I can take stuff that I learned in my other roles that I've had in the past and bring it to a lab and sometimes resolve our customer issues or just find a non-traditional way to solve some issues or bring something new to the market, a new application. So that's been fun.
Yeah, while you are spending time with our customers, sometimes they do share another pain point, and then you guys have brought that here
Yeah.
into the lab as well. So that's
Uh-huh.
when, and now this is a more personal. When did you realize that you were a creative person? So we know you're a scientist, you have the brain.
Uh-huh.
When did you were like, huh, I see things, it's because that's another combination. I can see beyond, I can see beyond the just a reaction. When do you, or can you say or think, and maybe it isn't like this date and time, but can you think of a moment where you're like, I am a very creative person?
Yes. Well, I mean, I'll say since forever, now that I can reflect back on it. But I guess it was just very obvious to me once I started working in industry, just seeing how I was able to approach the problems and everybody tell me like, okay, that's thinking outside the box or talking about how patient I am when it comes to solving problems. So it's like, okay, I'll take that. You could describe me as creative. So, yeah, it's been as long as I can remember. Yeah.
So we talked about it earlier when we started our conversation that you come with solutions. You're like, oh, make your own stuff. Can you tell? I know those stories, right? But could you share some of those examples where you've applied that, with your family, outside of work, where you've applied your savviness in chemistry?
So the chemist part of me follows me everywhere, like you said. So anytime anything comes up, I think just automatically, I think, can I solve this? And how well can I solve it? So one
This
of the, I guess, funniest stories is that my nephew wanted to get my brother, which is his dad, a birthday gift, but of course he didn't have any money. So he called me and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll take you shopping. But I was like, I can make this. And so we made him some cologne. Every time something comes up, I'm like, can I solve this? Because in real life, I am solving stuff. So why not do it? It could save a lot of money and it's fun. Um, yeah, it happens all the time.
What are things that are truly important to people who make chemistry happen here at Wanhua?
My family. So my family and how we come together and stick together has really shaped who I am, and it continues to shape who I am. Keeps me grounded, also gives me the confidence to think outside of the box. So yeah, that's what's important to me. In problem solving, like I just get a satisfaction from doing that. Even beyond chemistry, right? Like I told you I have some biology in my background as well. I'm not as good as applying that, but when I can apply it, I do. In my free time, I like learning more stuff. If I come across a different formulation or something that I can apply at work or in my personal life, like I like that. So that's what's important to me, solving problems and my family, and that everything else kind of falls into place after that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And just to wrap it up, if you could give us some tips, or what tips could you provide for chemists or technical experts like yourself who want to become more creative? What would be some tips that you will provide?
I would say just make yourself well-rounded by just trying different things. I like to say that it's all just following directions at the end of the day. If you're trying to follow a formula or correct a formula or cook or anything, everything is important when you're trying to solve a problem. It's non-traditional ways. You don't just have to focus on chemistry. A math class, of course, will help you solve some things. Maybe something on the news. Who knows? So just make yourself well rounded and all that could be used at some later time. And I'm lucky I get to use different things that I learned in industry. Like I've worked with some of our raw materials and some of our additives for the stuff that we do here at Wanhua. And it's been very helpful. So you just never know how everything's gonna come together.
Thank you, Artressa. This has been fun. Thank you for being my first guest of hope many. And that somebody who listened got an idea that chemistry can be creative. It's
Yes, of
not
course.
like a whole bunch of robots mixing things and doing
Hmm.
checklists. It's really like thinking outside the that's what it is thinking outside of just understanding how molecules and matter behave. Clearly you do that, you study that, but then also how do we turn that into something that can solve a problem, and
Yes.
into more creative things, and to showing that you could be highly successful scientifically
Mhm.
and then as well very well versed in other aspects of life, like outlets of
Yeah.
creativity. All
You
right.
might just be the missing piece of solving something. So don't shy away from it. Just embrace it.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate you and everything that you've taught me in this past couple of years. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Bye bye.
Bye.
That was a really good talk with Artressa, and I want to thank you for joining us on our first episode of Inside Wanhua, the series where we will go beyond the lab and get to know the people who make innovation come alive at a growing global company. Because real innovation happens when culture and chemistry connect. And if you want to see more episodes of Inside Wanhua, visit us on YouTube, or you can also connect with me on LinkedIn as Andreina Dewendt, and I would love to hear your story about innovation in the chemical industry.